All right, here we are. We are in Gentle Yoga. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Gentle Yoga. I'm so happy that you're all here this morning. I'm happy that we have the opportunity to share our yoga practice together. And so grateful for the opportunity to share this practice with you. So we're going to start today just a seated position. We're going to get moving pretty quickly right here. But when we find that seated position, let's make sure we find a good posture in that seated position. Not putting any extra stress on the ankles or the side of the feet. And a good, nice, tall posture as we find that seated position. If you're following along with the playlist for today, it's number 26. So go ahead and get that started, or anything else you care to listen to. Or if you just want to listen to my voice, then that's fine too. Okay, so as we begin in this seated position, just a moment to close our eyes, allow those eyelids to rest gently on our eyes, if that's comfortable for you, and allow ourselves to just start tuning into our inhales and exhales. As we breathe in deeply and fill our lungs just a little bit more than usual, and then exhale and lengthen that exhale, again a little bit more than usual. And then continue to deepen the inhales, go even further as we fill the lungs even more, and then exhale and let that breath out even more. And just allow yourself to get to a nice rhythm and a nice cadence with this breath, to where you find the deepest of inhales and the longest of exhales. And that's the breath we want to take into our practice, into our physical practice today. And so find that deepest inhale and the longest exhale, and that breath will guide our way. Very nice. Once we found that breath, let's begin just rocking side to side. Maybe just holding on to the front of our legs and to our knees. Just a little rock, almost a childish kind of spirit to this rock. Good. And maintaining that deep inhale and exhale as we get going. Good. And yoga is an opportunity to honor our bodies, our minds, and our spirits. And so that's what I hope we can do today with each one of our practices. Let's go from rocking side to side to just begin rocking and creating big circles now. So just feel like we're rocking in a big circle. Good. Awesome. Keep that breath. And as we honor our mind and body and spirits, it's a way to really show ourselves some self-care. Not that we just care about ourselves, but we care about our health and our well-being. And as we do that, let's go ahead and switch directions. There's 3 items that will allow us to do that at an even deeper level. And it's setting aside expectations, competition, and judgment. Setting aside those things. When we set expectations, we don't allow ourselves to just enjoy things for what they are. So find where your body's at today, where your practice is at today, and just allow yourself to feel that practice the way it's just naturally going to come to you today. Good. Seated position. Take that right hand only, and then connect movement and breath as we inhale with that right hand, and then exhale and sweep it through. Good. Inhale. And exhale. And give me about 5 more of those. And then competition. Competition is all about one's upmanship. Trying to be better than something, better than someone else, or better than ourselves. But when we do that, perhaps we're not allowing ourselves to just be right where we're at, allowing ourselves to find that acceptance of where we're at. We're creating comparison. Comparison. And when we can create comparison, that clouds our thinking, clouds our thoughts. Good, let's go and switch to the other side as we inhale and exhale. And as that clouds our thoughts, then we get ourselves out of the moment and allow our practice to escape where it's meant to be for ourselves, which oftentimes leads to a practice that is unfulfilling, or perhaps a practice where we're pushing ourselves beyond. Could lead to injury or just dissatisfaction. Good. A couple more times on these circles. All right, so now let's find some side bends. We're going to take that left elbow and either left hand to the side and elbow down to the ground and just reach overhead as far as you can reach. Right fingertips try to reach over to that left wall. Again, to the left hand or elbow reach and breathe. And then there's judgments. Judgment is all about being critical. And oftentimes when we're being critical, and there's constructive criticism, but oftentimes we're critical, it kind of leads to negative thoughts. And so if we set those aside, set that negativity aside, just allow ourselves to think positively about where we're at and how we move today. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side. Inhale up to the center. Exhale and bring that left bicep toward our ear and reach over to the right side with those left fingertips. Good. Pressing with that right hand or even down to the elbow and then pushing in to bring that left glute back down. So if we allow ourselves to set aside expectations, competition, and judgments, and just let those things just stay to the side, we create the conditions to allow our practice to be free. Free of those things, but just free to allow ourselves to move. Awesome. Right back to our heart center. Good. Now let's reach both hands at an angle towards the right corner of our mats. Walk those fingers as forward as you can, then press those hands in, bringing your ears between the arms. And trying to breathe into the left side of your body, through those ribs and down to your hips. Allowing yourselves to move freely. Good. Breathe in. Finding that acceptance of where you're at. Finding that just right spot for you. Exhale and come back. And then we're going to go over to the left side. So bring those hands forward into the left corner of our mat. Curl those fingertips forward as far as they'll go. Then press those hands back in as we draw our ears between our arms and stretch on the right side through our ribs and down to our hips. Trying to press our glutes back in. Feel our body working together. Good deep breaths. Stretching from the inside out with that breath and through those lungs. Very nice. Let's come back. Hands to heart center. Awesome. From these hands to heart center, we're going to breathe up, breathe in, and reach up, and then just energetically exhale and throw our hands back to our sides and begin alternating side to side. Inhale. And then exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Turn and rotate and press those hands back. Like we have a ball in our hand and we're tossing it behind us. Big breath. Energy through those hands. Good. Keep lifting. And then exhale, rotate. Maybe two more in either direction. Good energizing breath right there. Awesome. Back to front and center. Hands onto those shins or front of those knees. Seated cat and cow. So from here we're going to look up. We're going to arch our back and inhale and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Lean forward. Squeeze those shoulder blades even more. Exhale then. And drop the crown of our head down. Tuck that tailbone under. Separate those shoulders from each other. Lean back. Lean back. Bringing your spine towards the back of the room. Rounding that spine. Squeezing those abs. Inhale. Rock it forward. Squeeze and work the entire length of our spine. Exhale. And lean back into it. Good. Just continue to flow at your own pace. Inhale. As fast or as slow as you want to go. Let that breath be your guide. Let that breath help you feel your practice today. Honoring your mind, your body, and your spirit. All begins with the breath. The breath and our presence being right here in the moment. Good. One more time each direction. All right, we're going to come up to an upright position. From this easy seated position, you can try to come up without your hands. Just give it a try. If it's not in the cards today, don't do it today. There's no competition, right? There's no participation awards given away for being able to stand up like that. Okay? All right. Okay, so we're going to do our sun A's. I'm just going to turn to the side. Feet about hip distance or slightly wider, shoulder distance apart, hands to heart center. Inhale up nice and tall. Breathe and reach those fingertips as high as we can go. With a nice long spine, fan those arms down. Keep that length, crown of our head to our tailbone. Exhale as we come down, forward fold. Let's spend a little moment right here in forward fold. Interlock our arms and just rock side to side. Dropping the crown of your head, space between your teeth. Relax your jaw, an expressionless face as we just relax and release. Feel that engagement of our feet on our mats, supporting us, and that nice stretch to our hamstrings and glutes and into our lower back. As we release those arms, drape those hands across those shins, inhale, and rest those hands below those knees. Nice flat back right there. Good. Exhale, back to forward fold. Bend those knees. Inhale, sweep those hands nice and tall, and exhale right back to heart center. Let's do that again about 3 more times. Inhale and reach up. Exhale, long spine, forward fold. Inhale up to flat back, drape those hands. Good support right there, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Think about the hamstrings, the glutes, and your lower back working together. Drive your hips forward. Inhale, on up. Exhale, back to heart center. Now if we're only using our lower back on that, we're definitely going to feel it. Inhale and exhale. And it's not going to feel so hot, especially over time. Inhale up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. So right here, hamstrings, glutes, hips, drive them forward. Good. Exhale right back to heart center. Good. 2 more. Inhale up and exhale and fold. Inhale up to flat back and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep those hands nice and tall. And we'll do that 1 more time and we'll add a little chair pose. I know you're excited about that. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, reverse that swan dive. Nice and strong arms all the way right back up to heart center. Good. Let's add that chair pose now. Inhale and exhale, fold. Inhale, up, flat back. Exhale, chair pose, sit back. Bring that tailbone closer to the ground, hands to heart center, a thumbs up toward the sky, reaching forward. Good. On that inhale, find that half lift, hands below the knees, exhale, forward fold, squeeze your hamstrings, glutes, drive your hips, inhale all the way up, exhale, back to heart center. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale up and exhale, fold. Inhale up, flat back, exhale, sit back, chair pose, chair pose. Both feet on the ground, heels to toes right here. Inhale up, flat back, drape those hands. Exhale, forward fold, sink deeper. Inhale, sweep those hands nice and tall. Exhale, right back to heart center. Let's keep going. Inhale, reach those fingers up nice and high. Exhale, away from the sky. Inhale, up, flat back. Exhale, sit down into it. Our version of the lazy boy in yoga right here. Inhale, up, flat back, and exhale, lower into it. Inhale, sweep nice and tall. Exhale to heart center. Let's do that 2 more. Inhale, reach, and exhale on down. Heating up our bodies as we inhale up, flat back, and exhale, sit back, chair pose. Inhale up to that flat back, and exhale, bend those knees, sweep those hands nice and tall, and we'll do it right again 1 more time. Inhale up and exhale and fold. Inhale up to flat back, exhale, chair pose. Stay in chair pose. Stay in chair pose. Let's bring our hands to heart center. I'm going to face the front. Staying in chair pose, we're going to go to twisted chair. Good. So from here, feet and knees can be together or separated like I have them right now. Left elbow to the outside of that right knee. Exhale as we rotate and turn. Think about the length of your spine, nice and long. Hands strong, pressing toward each other, and then drawn towards our heart center. So much so that we're getting a little bit of that dynamic tension of our left elbow to the outside of the right knee. A little push without overdoing it. Remember, we're trying to honor our body. Take a nice big inhale here, and then exhale back to center. Inhale, and exhale, right elbow to the outside of that left knee. Press those hands together, stack elbow to elbow, and rotate. Nice long spine. We're still in a position to where our breath is still free flowing. And if we find that breath's constrained, that's our body's signal to say, probably going a little bit too far. Maybe need to ease back. so we can reduce the range of motion just a little bit more. Okay, all right. Inhale or exhale back to center. Take a nice big inhale, sweep those hands up nice and tall, and exhale right back to heart center. Very nicely done. Whew. All right. We'll start our standing postures sequence right here. So our right foot's going to be forward, left foot back. We're going to find Warrior One pose. Warrior One pose. Good. So from Warrior One pose, both feet are on the ground, heels to our toes, left foot pointing off to the left side just a little bit. Hips slightly coming forward, no need to square them up. Shoulders squared up and rolled down and away from our ears. Hands up toward the sky or at heart center, wherever you want them to be. Okay. All right, sinking into that Warrior One. I'm just going to begin. I'm going to turn to the side, okay? So stay right there where you're at, and I'm going to turn to the side so you can get a better vantage point of the rest of the postures in this flow. From here, we're going to go right into Warrior Two. That front knee and toes don't move at all. All we do is point that left foot to the left side of the room and extend our arms front and back. That naturally will bring our shoulders and our hips to square up to the left side where our toes are pointing as well. So try and feel that happen, okay? All right, so extending our arms out without locking those elbows and making sure our knee is still toward our toes, preferably our pinky toes, so we can still see our big toes. Okay, if that knee is coming in, falling in, you're gonna see the whole foot or the outside of the foot. That's no bueno on that foot, okay? That's no bueno on the knee. It's not going to feel good over time. It's going to cause injury, and that's something we do not want. Let's find reverse warrior. Exhale, flip that front hand. Inhale, lift it up toward the sky. Reach nice and high. Backhand rest on the leg, on the tailbone, or wraps completely around your waist. With that right hand, we're reaching as high as we can through those fingertips. I'm talking as high as we can. Can we reach? Almost as if we're just stretching through that shoulder. How high will that arm come up toward the sky? Okay, without locking that elbow, without putting strain on those joints, feeling that stretch through those ribs and down the front side of our body. Excellent. Take a nice big inhale, and on the exhale, right angle pose, right forearm to the top of the leg, avoid the knee, backhand to the hip or up toward that sky, or bring that bicep to the ear and reach overhead. If you want to go deeper, take that right arm to the inside of that leg, use the block. That block's got 3 settings on it. It's called high, medium, and low. And then there's an extra low version that's going down to the ground. Okay. All right. But we just pick the setting based on keeping our shoulders, our ribs stacked, keeping our alignments true, keeping it, making sure it keeps our alignment so it feels good on our bodies. Good. So we exhale back to Warrior Two. Perfect, and let's step forward in front of our mats. There we go. All right, same thing, other side. Same thing, other side. Left foot forward, right foot back. Warrior One posture. Okay? All right. There we go. Both feet on the ground, heels to toes. Right foot pointing off to the right side this time. Good separation of those feet so we have good broad supports. Deep bend in that knee, knee towards those pinky toes. Watch this knee. Okay, I can see my big toe and my second toe. Okay, when I go like this and draw my knee in, I can see all my toes, okay, but especially my outside toes. Don't see those. Okay, hide those toes. Hide those toes, and then that knee will feel really good. Okay, keep something hidden from you, and that foot will really, that knee will feel really good. Okay, time for Warrior Two. Let's take a nice big inhale. Front knee and toes stay right where they're at. Don't move them. Point the right foot to the right side. Extend those arms front and back. There we go. Good tall posture. Ears over shoulders over hips. Left knee hovering right above that ankle. I can see my big toe and my second toe, but not my pinky toes. They're hidden. Okay? All right. Reverse warrior. Exhale. Flip that front hand. Inhale. Lift that front hand up toward the sky. Okay? Back hand resting on the leg, tailbone, or wrapping completely around your waist. And then reach those fingertips as if there's something up there. There's a handle up on the ceiling that we're trying to reach. Okay, it's just out of our reach. It's just out of our reach. So if we reach just a little bit more, we might be able to grab it. Stretching through those shoulders and ribs in the front side of our body. Good. Take a nice big inhale, and on the exhale, left forearm to the top of that leg. Avoid the knee. Avoid the knee. Stay on the quad. Back hand up to the hip or sky or overhead, and then find the depth that works for you using one of those settings on that block. Good. Breathe. Breathe. Very nice. Exhale back. 2, warrior 2. Perfect. All right. And step forward in front of our mats. All right. Very nice. We're going to come down toward the ground a little bit. I try to keep us out of down dog position. I try to keep us off our hands and knees as much as I can. We're going to come to a runner's lunge though. That's about as low as I'll go. Right foot forward, left foot back. Okay? Now we can have the toes on the ground, heel back, or we can have the knee on the ground, shoelace side of that foot. It's totally up to you on this one. Okay? All right. I'm not going to show a side view just yet because it's where we're heading is probably a little bit better to do a little head-on version of this. Okay, all right. If you have a block, just set it somewhere out in front. Okay, all right. Just so you have access to it. Let's start twisted low lunge. Just knee up or knee down that back. Left hand stays on the ground. You can also come onto that block if you wanted to. Right hand floats up toward the sky. Stack those shoulders and open up our heart to the right side. Just watch that that right knee doesn't start to lengthen and come behind the ankle. Keep that right knee hovering above the ankle and that right knee going towards our heart so our legs are scissoring. Okay? All right. Open up and breathe. You can also, if it bothers your shoulder, just rest the back of your hand onto your tailbone or behind your back. And breathe. Good. As we exhale, bring both hands down. Go ahead and set that back knee down, shoelace side of that left foot. And then we're going to arch back as we float either one hand or both hands on up. Arch back, lean back. Drawing those thumbs to the back of the room as far as you can get them to go. And then come to neutral spine. Right hand comes on to our tailbone. Left hand reaches up nice and high. And then tip over, pressing our hips to the left side and reach our left fingertips toward the right side. Still scissoring those legs. So lots of dynamic tension and action going on through our core. Stretch through here. Leg coming in. And a deep stretch on our left hip. Perfect. Come back to that runners. We're going to curl those toes. Back knee comes up. All right. From here, warrior 3. From here, warrior 3. So we begin floating that left heel up off the ground. I'll turn at a slight angle. Float that left heel up off the ground. Lengthen that right leg. Peel those hands up. Another option is keep the hands right there. 3-point balance. Okay, keep those hands right on the ground. 3-point balance. From this warrior 3, we square up our hips and shoulders. We draw that left heel up, squeeze through our glutes and our lower back. And we're going to try and keep that left leg up off the ground as we find standing balance pigeon. So as we stand tall, bring our left toes toward our shin, bring that left knee out to the side, and then that left ankle above our right knee. And sit down as if we're in a single leg chair. See, I just wobbled, and that's fine. No judgment right there, no negative thoughts going through my mind. Okay? No concern about, well, yesterday I was able to do it, why can't I do it today? Okay? No, none of that. That's called just being in the moment. Just allow things to happen. So what? So what? Right? Breathing through this. I do have that block there in case you want to use the block. Take the balance out, but focus on the stretch. We're here quite a while. Let's exhale and come on out. Good. All right. Good job there. Excellent. We're going to move on to the other side. Coming down towards the ground. Left foot forward. Right foot back. Back knee up or down, your choice. We'll eventually end up there, as you know. All right, twisted low lunge. Twisted low lunge. Right hand to the ground or even on that block. I'm just going to put mine on the block just to see what that feels like for me. Float that left hand up toward the sky or just back on your hip or behind your back. Okay, just opening up our heart to the left side. Again, trying to observe that left knee. Make sure it's still hovering above the ankle and coming in towards your heart a little bit without overdoing it. Okay, just feel like those legs are scissoring. That builds strength and foundation. Awesome, let's come down, exhale, and then find runner's lunge. We're gonna drop that right knee down, shoelace side of that foot, and just crawling up that left leg. And then we're gonna arch back, thumbs to the back of the room. One hand or two hands, arch back. Good stretch across the front side of our body. Deeper stretch into that right hip and top of our quad. Breathe. As we come back to neutral spine, standing tall, take that right hand and reach even more. That left hand can creep behind the back if we want. And again, scissoring those legs as we reach those right fingertips toward the left side and press our hips to the right side of the room. Beautiful. Great stretch right there. Let's come back to runners. Let's come back to runners. Curl those toes. Lift that knee up. Warrior three pose. Warrior three. So from three-point balance, both hands forward. Start picking up that right heel and then picking up those hands. Trying to make your body into a straight line, a letter T, with that left leg being the leg of your letter T. Squaring up those shoulders and hips. Hands can be forward, heart center, or back. Squeeze through your glutes. Drive your right heel. Breathe. Find calm in the pose best you can. And then we're going to move from here into pigeon. From pigeon, stand tall. Bring that right knee up. Externally rotate that right knee. Right toes toward the shin, right ankle above that left knee. And then sit down into pigeon pose. Keep those toes pointed towards the shins. That just locks that knee into place and protects that knee. And then feel a nice stretch to our right side glutes and hips. Breathe. Appreciate what you're able to do right now. Moving freely, allowing ourselves to just freely move in this moment. Inhale and then exhale, release out. Perfect. Very nice. All right. Whew. Okay. All right, back to warrior one. Right foot forward. Right foot forward. Find that warrior one. Left foot back. Let's go to warrior two. Just point those left toes to the left side, arms nice and long. There we go. Bend here before triangle pose. Lengthen that front leg. Still a soft bend in the knee. We're not locking the joints. We're not locking the joints. We got a soft bend. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale. Reach as far as you can while the hips go towards the back. And then exhale, tip over. Stacking through those shoulders and ribs. And then lifting that top hip. As if there's a little string attached. Trying to just lift your hip bone up. Okay. If you're on a little extended triangle, go ahead and reach overhead a little bit more, bicep to the ear, palm towards the crown of your head. Very nice. We'll exhale back to warrior two. And then straddle our mats. Wide stance. Wide stance. Toes pointed out, knees toward those toes. Sink into those legs, sit into those legs. Make sure those knees don't cave in. Bring them out. Elbows to our side. Good. We're just going to go side to side crunches. Side to side crunches. So squeezing and bringing those ribs closer to those hips. Little extra tip here, inhale to center, exhale as we go side to side. Let's add a little bit more dynamic now. Bring those arms in, reach overhead. Good. Get even more of a stretch. Inhale to center, exhale to the side. Perfect. All right. Inhale up nice and tall. Exhale to heart center, lengthen those legs. And then inhale up nice and tall. Exhale, strong legs, flat back, chin up. Come down nice and slow all the way towards the ground. Fingertips to the ground or on the block. So much so we're trying to keep just a nice long spine. Nice long spine parallel to the ground. We go too low, then you can see from that side view I'm crunched over. Okay, and if I start to rotate when I'm crunched over, that's no good for my spine. So we lift up and get nice and tall. Okay, so I'm going to use that block right there. And just with my left hand only, right hand staying right on the block. Inhale that left hand up for a twist. And then exhale down, do that 5 more times. Good, inhale and exhale. Good, keep going, inhale and exhale. Show you that front view as well. Stay nice and tall, fingertips or palm on the block. That lifts me up and that feels good on my spine. When we're done with a total of 5 there, stabilize that left hand on the block. Inhale that right. Now if you don't have a block, that's fine. Use fingertips. Use fingertips. Okay, that block is about cupcake hands height anyway. Okay. Total of 5 right here. When you're done with 5, let's just hang out down here for a little bit. Bring both arms down, interlock those arms and rock side to side. Feel the soothing nature of just hanging out, of just relaxing, of just folding into this position, relaxing, let the crown of your head fall, little rocking side to side. Those arms add just a little bit extra weight so we get a nice gentle stretch into our lower back. Good. Exhale back to center. Inhale, sweep those hands nice and tall. And exhale to heart center. Good. All right, same thing, other side. Same thing, other side. Warrior 1. Left foot forward, right foot back. Okay, square up those hips. Or don't square up those hips, not warrior 1, but just bring them forward. Good, warrior 1 posture right there. Good. All right. From here, going right to warrior 2. Open up, right foot points to the right. Extend those arms. There we go. Nice and deep in this pose. Knee hovering above the ankle and the heel. Good tall posture. Awesome. Let's find triangle. Let's lengthen that front leg. Breathe in as deeply as we can. Exhale and hinge. Hinge. Reach. Reach as far forward as you can. When you can reach no further, tip over. Back into the hip or sky. Or reach overhead. Extend triangle. Try to feel the top side of the body as much as we're feeling the bottom side. Stretch it. So try to just notice from your fingertips to your heel. That straight line. Stacking through those shoulders, ribs, and hips. Breathe. Good. Let's find warrior 2. And then right back to that straddle position. Right back to that straddle position. Good. Sinking into those legs now. shoulder drops. Bring your hands to the inside part of your legs, thumb up on top of the leg, and we're just going to drop our right shoulder, press that hand into the leg, deeper stretch on the inside part of the leg. Good. And just listen to our lower back here as we go side to side in these shoulder drops. Nice. Good stretch for the inside of the legs. Good stretch for our lower back. Exhale into that stretch. Exhale into that stretch. Good. 2 more. And now from this position, an upright version of cat and cow. So we're going to press those hands onto the legs. Inhale, look up and arch our back. Squeeze those shoulders together. And then exhale, look down, tuck our tailbone under. Push those hands and those legs and round your spine for that cat pose. Lift your spine to the sky as much as you can. Exhale. Open up your heart. Squeeze between those shoulder blades. Exhale and round. Good. Keep moving at your own pace. And try and engage the entire length of your spine. Those muscles that border your spine. The stabilizer muscles. Helps with our posture. This will strengthen those muscles. It'll also lengthen those muscles. And that's a good combination. One more time. Good. All right. Inhale up. Exhale the heart center. Rest those thumbs in our hearts. And walk those feet in, mountain pose. Mountain pose. Very nice. Let's do a couple more standing postures. We'll start with tree pose. Tree pose, right foot on the ground. And our left foot is going to externally rotate with our knee pointing to the left side. Now if you have a block, you can set your toes right there on that block as an option, or the heel above the ankle on the leg, or the foot above or below the knee on the leg. Okay? Making sure we keep that knee pointed to the left side, hip opened up. Hands can be at heart center, or we can start fanning those arms out to the side, creating some branches or even overhead. Steeple fingers. Find your posture, find your focal point, your drishti. Find your breath, find your calm in the pose. And don't worry about whether you set down your toes. Two more breaths. And release. Good. Nice job there. It's engaging tree pose. Same thing other side. Strong left side. Just think about straight line from the crown of your head through that left heel. Think about that, okay? Instead of maybe rocking side to side, just think about this whole chain working together, okay? All right, bring that right foot out, either foot on the block or find your version of tree pose on this side. Might be different than the other side, so experiment and be in the moment. Good. Breathe, calm. Allow yourself just to be there, right where you're at. Exhale and release. All right. Let's find damn dancer pose, dancer pose. Right foot will stay on the ground. Dancer pose can either be a quad stretch or full-on dancer pose. We'll start in quad stretch, bring our left heel, okay, towards our glute. Open up that palm towards the left side and grab the inside of your foot, top of your foot or ankle. You're welcome to stay right here, quad stretch, knees side to side, press the hips forward, that's a good stretch right there. Or press that ankle into the hand and extend your right hand forward and try to reach your body in opposite directions, keeping that dynamic tension going in opposite directions. If we loosen up, that's where we wobble. So try to keep that constant motion going, a constant engagement going. We don't have to force it, but keep that dynamic tension, reaching, lengthening in opposite directions. And then exhale and release. Other side. Beautiful. Very nice. Very nice. Same thing other side. Plant that left foot on the ground. Oh, bend and that right knee, heel to our glutes. Externally rotate that hand, palm facing towards the foot. Facing out, knees side to side, hips forward. Good. Again, quad stretch is a good option. Okay? It's a great option. It's better than good. Okay, and then press that ankle or foot into your hand and extend your left hand forward. And try and reach as far forward as you can. Tilt. I find that when I get in this pose, I'm always moving. So there's no concept of hitting the pause button. Something's always moving. Right now it's my mouth. And then when you're ready, exhale and gently come on out with control. Very nice. Let's take a seat. Let's take a seat. Come on down. Whew. Very nice. Okay, when we come on down, we're going to find butterfly pose. Butterfly pose. I'll turn that just a little bit of an angle here. Okay, so bring the soles of your feet together and go ahead and grab onto the front of your shins, even at your ankles, and draw your heels in a little bit more towards your glutes. Okay, and then we'll start by standing or sitting nice and tall and just drawing our knees down towards the ground. How close can we get the outside of those knees to the outside or to touching our mat? Okay, that means bringing the balls of our feet away from each other, opening up our feet just a little bit, and just draw those knees down. A really nice pose is just applying little gentle weights to this position, not forcing anything, but taking like little, in yoga there's little yoga sandbags. I don't have any of those. It just applies a nice, even like a heated blanket. Not a weighted blanket, not heated. Good. Now from here, we're sitting tall, we can start rocking forward, leaning forward. Okay, we can bring the balls of our feet back together again. Maybe those knees lift up a little bit. And then maybe we cup underneath the outside of our feet, the pinky toe side of the edges of those feet. Keep that length and draw forward. And then when we find that we can go no further, then we can drop the crown of our head round through our spine. Maybe press those elbows into our calves. And then breathe. Again, we're not trying to jam our body into the pose. We're trying to get the pose into our body. That's a different way to look at it. But it's more of an accepting way to look at it. That's the way poses look, textbook. Don't look the way they look on each one of our bodies because we're all different. Exhale and release. We are all different. Okay, all right, straddle position, wide feet. Come out nice and wide. We'll initially hinge forward with this, and then I've got several other things we're going to do with this. Inhale up nice and tall, and then hinge. Reach forward, reach. Let your body just carry yourself forward as far as it will go. As far as it will go, as far as you'll reach without forcing it, and then just rest those hands. And if you want a little bit of an extra, this is where we can use that breath. We can use those hands on the arches or our feet. And then exhale. And on the exhale, just a small adjustment. But not overdoing it. Two more breaths. Good. And then walk those hands back on the exhale. Let's take that right foot, bring the sole of that foot into our left leg, and then turn our shoulders and the hips towards that left leg, toes toward the shins. Inhale. Nice and tall, exhale, and forward fold. Reach as far as you can without touching anything, reach. Reach first. When you can reach no further, then we stabilize. Grab onto that foot or just rest our hands onto the foot or ankle or beside the leg. Then we use that exhale to feel a little bit more. Inhale, we'll feel a lift. Exhale, we allow ourselves to sink in just a little bit more. Let's take 3 more of those breaths. And we'll bring that left hand to the inside of that left leg, either the arch of the foot or inside the shin, just right above the ankle. Push that hand in to open up our shoulders away from that foot. Right hand comes up and overhead, bicep to the ear, and then hinge over and reach with that right hand towards that left foot as far as it'll go. You want to give it a little nudge, you can grab onto the wrist. Trying to keep our heart opened up. If we go too far, we're going to close down and our heart's going to look at the floor. Just imagine you got a little flashlight on your sternum. Where's your flashlight pointing? It should be pointing to the side of the room and not to the floor. Exhale and release. Nice. Keep this right leg right where it's at. We're going to sweep the left leg. Either just put a bend into it for a gentle pigeon stretch. We're going to lay down on the leg. Just like this, or sweep that leg all the way back behind. Lift up, bring that left leg behind you, 6 o'clock. Shoelace side of that left foot, I'll turn to the side so you can see that. So half pigeon or gentle pigeon, we've got choices, okay? Either the choice is we stay seated on the ground, lay down, or 6 o'clock, go ahead and breathe into this. As we get in the half pigeon, we can stay up a little bit higher, or we can come down and support our head, neutral spine, either with the block or our fists, or take that block and stuff it under that space between our right glute and the mat. We all got space there, but the objective is to keep our hips square to that mat. As soon as we start rocking to the side, we're going to get a stretch that doesn't jive with our hips, doesn't feel so hot. Okay, kind of stretches in the wrong direction, so we gotta make sure we keep those hips square. And then try to feel something across the top side of that left leg. Do the hip there and then the top of the quad. And again, use our breath to our advantage. Inhale, lift, and exhale. Just feel like those hips are just settling in, just releasing. Just releasing. Releasing like we have a knot in our leg and we're pressing on it, we're hitting the trigger point, and then all of a sudden it just lets go. Just lets go. Take 2 more breaths right here in half pigeon or gentle pigeon. those legs back to where we're in that half pigeon. So just a little bend in that knee, little letter S with those legs for mermaid. Right hand on the ground, shoulder over that hand. Left hand lifts up, bring the hips up off the ground. Reach straight up to the sky or overhead to get more of a stretch through the core. Feel those ribs. Feel that space. And then exhale and release. Good. Back to that straddle position. And then left leg bends. Left sole of our foot comes into the right leg. And we square up everything towards that right foot. Inhale up nice and tall. And exhale and fold. Reach as far as you can. Reach, reach, reach. When you can reach no further, then we just rest those hands wherever they'll be. Wherever they'll be, and then we'll use our breath to get just a little bit more out of it. Inhale that light lift and exhale. Soften into it. We'll take 2 more deep breaths here. And then we'll draw that right hand to the inside of that right leg. Arch or above the ankle. Push. Push the inside of that right leg. Open up our heart towards the left side. Left hand comes up and over, bicep to our ear, and reach towards that right foot. Some of you might be able to connect that right hand or left hand to right foot. Someday for me. Right now I would have to totally close my heart down to get that. And honestly, I don't feel anything up top anyway. And so the idea is to feel more up top on that left side. So I'll get there eventually. Or maybe I won't. I'm not going to set expectations because that predetermines the outcome. And if I set an expectation and never get to that position, guess what happens? I get disappointed. And there's no sense in getting disappointed, right? It's just a pose. Good, exhale out of this. Keep that left leg right where it's at. Either a little bend in that right knee, gentle pigeon, or sweep that right leg all the way behind 6 o'clock and find half pigeon. Half pigeon. Okay. Breathe in and then exhale and sink in. Less is more here, but feel as much as you can. Use that breath to feel as much as you can. Just relax and release into this. Inhale, lift. Exhale, soften through those hips. Take 3 more breaths. Good. As we release out of this, just going to sit down to our side, the letter S with those legs, back to that gentle pigeon. Structure with those legs, left hand on the ground, left shoulder right above that hand. Inhale the right up and lift those hips. Reaching straight up towards the ceiling or overhead. And then exhale. And come on down. Good. All right. We're going to come on to our backs now. Come on to our backs. Okay, either grab behind our knees and or interlocking our ankles. And And then rolling slowly onto our backs. Perfect. So let's draw our knees toward our chest. Give those knees a squeeze. Just a little rock. Awesome. And then draw those feet up toward the sky. Knees coming into our armpits as we drape our hands across the front of our feet. Happy baby. Draw those heels up toward the sky and a little rock side to side. Relaxed and released. Just a little gentle rock. Try to feel your back just pressing into the mat beneath you. Maybe a nice little massage on some tight spots still. Just a soothing rock. We'll come out of this by coming right back to knees to chest. Big squeeze on those. Lift those shoulder blades up. Bring the head up off the mat. Squeeze everything together into a ball. Holding that ball with all your might and all your strength. And in 3, and 2, and 1, let's release. Let's release and find Shavasana, final relaxation. Sprawling our arms out to our side and our legs out, letting our toes go out wide as our heels rest. We've arrived at Shavasana. I'm going to dim the lights and I'll continue to talk us through Shavasana. Our Shavasana song is Gravity, if you're following along on the playlist. As we engage in this most restorative and relaxing pose, Shavasana, sometimes it's the hardest pose to be in. Because while we feel like we're physically doing nothing, we feel it might be a waste of time, but there's so much going on. Allowing our mind and body to work and connect together. To create our bodies, an environment for our body to find a restful state. While we may have time to do some of that nowadays, when we get into the hecticness of life, oftentimes we don't get this moment. And so we allow ourselves to take this moment to relax, to release, to feel fully on our mat and ground right now. Noticing anything that we may still be holding on to in terms of muscle tension and letting go of that. Allowing that breath to just relax in those eyelids. And trying to seek stillness of our body so that we can feel the reverberations of our practice, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally. How do we feel right now? The breath is smooth, the body is engaged but relaxed. We've got that sensation of deep relaxation and calm setting upon us. Yoga is a practice where we get to honor our bodies and our minds and our soul. Only if we allow ourselves to create those conditions, by freeing ourselves, by allowing ourselves to be free of expectations, competition, and those judgments, and the negativity that gets carried with the weight of those 3 things. Which brings us right to my closing message. I am in competition with no one. I run my own race. I have no desire to play the game of being better than anyone in any way, shape, or form. I just aim to improve and to be better than I was before. And if I allow myself to do that, then I'm free. I honor the love and light in each of you as it's also within me. Namaste.